there was in the 1800s demonstrations led by workers for an 8-hour workday. And those demonstrations ended when someone, it's unclear to this day who, threw a bomb that went off, and that prompted a shootout where police gunned down workers in the street fighting for that 8-hour workday. We enjoy an 8-hour workday, a 40-hour work week now because of the efforts of the people involved in the Haymarket Affair and other organizers besides that. And the people out here in Chicago are out here to honor that legacy and to fight for new rights for working people today. And that's some of the interviews that I'm going to be doing. Some of the questions that I'm going to be asking are going to be trying to get at the heart of what they feel like the struggle for working people should be like today. But I want to acknowledge that in much of the country, this is International Workers' Day. And yet, here in the U.S., it is not a holiday the way it is in other countries. There are people who will choose to observe the holiday in other countries, but it falls to everyday people to volunteer to recognize this day. Instead, our country observes Labor Day, which in part was done to try and break apart working class solidarity from American workers to their international counterparts. But we're going to be talking a lot about solidarity today, especially how that solidarity needs to be even stronger in the face of a Trump regime that is only cracking down harder on working people in this country. So follow along with me here as we're going to start to listen in on some of the speakers here at these demonstrations. I'm told that the mayor of Chicago is going to be speaking, Brandon Johnson, who has called for a nationwide general strike. And there's another theme we'll be exploring in my interviews, is going to speak here in just a few minutes. So I want to be sure we move the camera and get to a point where you're able to listen in on the speakers. But before I do, I want to acknowledge something. Status Coup and our partners at the Midas Touch Network, with their support, and we're very thankful for their support, we are the leading on the ground outlet, independent outlet, anywhere in the country. We are a small but mighty team here at Status Coup. We punch way above our weight. I say, compare us to any other independent media outlet, certainly, but then even against the corporate behemoths. And I would say that we do better to get to the actual truth of the news, to lift up more voices of working people like who we'll be hearing from today than any other outlet. And just today, we have already been live in New York. I'm told that I have to be done around 4 o'clock Eastern here to toss back to our coverage in New York. And then we may also, and you might be more informed on this than I am if you had the chance to watch my boss, Jordan Sheridan, go live from New York. He might have clued you a little bit more in on where our plans exactly landed, but we may also be going live from Minneapolis. But it's at least 3 different lives in 2 different cities, if not 4 lives in 3 cities that we'll be doing today in partnership with the Midas Touch Network and Andrew Mercado of Mercado Media as well. And so that is the kind of work that we like to deliver to you, this on-the-ground, unvarnished reporting to show you what it's really like here, what these people who are putting themselves at risk, putting themselves out in the street are actually saying. And we put ourselves at risk too as journalists. We were here in Chicago on the ground for 2 months covering the immigration crackdown that the Trump administration, occupation of this city that the Trump administration did last fall. We did the same thing in Charlotte. We did the same thing in Minneapolis, where myself and cameraman John Farina got frostbite in Minneapolis doing the coverage. That's such important coverage out there. And we were both tear gassed for about 4 hours. After Alex Preddy was killed, we were the first media of any kind to go live from the scene of that shooting to document how the Trump administration was brutalizing the people of the south side of Minneapolis. We're very proud of that coverage that we've been able to offer. And we want to be able to continue to do on-the-ground reporting like this, but it is very expensive. So if you can, go to statuscoup.com/join. For as low as $5 a month, you go to support our on-the-ground reporting and sustain more of it. We can only do what we do here with the support of our members. So if you're already a member, from the bottom of my heart, truly thank you. We are working on some really great investigative journalism right now. I spent most of yesterday working on some stuff I can't quite talk about yet, but that'll be coming down the pike here very shortly, and we're only able to do that with your support. So thank you for that. With that, I'm going to jump behind the camera because I'm a one-man band out here today. So I'll be jumping behind the camera. I'm going to move us over so you can listen in and see the speakers on the stage.
Stolen labor, stolen land, dehumanization, and exploitation that those who seek to build a world.
And as I get in there, I'm actually going to lift the camera up here a little bit just to show you the crowd, because it is truly thousands who are out here today, and I don't think the camera is even catching probably the edge of the screen. I can't quite see the viewfinder from way down here because I'm lifting the camera well above my head, but it is thousands of people who are out here right now. Not quite as many who were at No Kings in March, but I would say a very comparable crowd out here. Pardon me. Excuse me.
We're switching around a bit, but we're going to get it right. Is it this one? All right. They trying to mess up our flow, but we ain't having it. Not at all. Ultimately, you all, we're here today to fight for a simple lesson my grandmother taught me. My grandmother, who fought slumlords in North Kentwood, Oakland in the 1950s. What she taught me was that those who work and those who desire to work deserve to have a wage that allows them to have a decent roof over their heads, medicine to heal their bodies, and safe working conditions. Yes, we're the backbone of this city, but each vertebra must be steeped and fortified in solidarity and mutual respect for each other. So, as we struggle for safe and affordable housing, as we protect our neighbors, as we struggle for equitable education, safe working conditions, the right to organize at work, full employment, and the ability to vote without the threat of violence, we must stand united. Right. Sounds like that's what we're here to do today. So I'm going to now introduce Jorge Mojica, lead organizer with Consejo de Resistencia and Arise, and Margarita Morales from Casa Aguas Calientes and Consejo de Resistencia.
Gracias. Hace 140 años, 140 years ago, los inmigrantes de Chicago se pusieron en huelga por sus derechos. They came out on strike for their rights. 20 years ago, immigrants from Chicago came out to the streets to fight for our rights. Hace 20 años salimos los inmigrantes a pelear por nuestros derechos aquí en Chicago. Gracias a los inmigrantes, Chicago celebra el Día Internacional de los Trabajadores. Thanks to immigrants, Chicago celebrates today Immigrants International Workers Day. This is not a day just to celebrate. Este no es un día nomás para celebrar. This is a day to fight. Este es un día para pelear. Immigrants in 1886 fought for their rights. Los inmigrantes de 1886 peleaban por sus derechos. Nosotros peleamos por nuestros derechos contra las injusticias. We are fighting against injustices because injustices never end because we have billionaires in government. Las injusticias no se acaban porque tenemos multimillonarios en el gobierno. Y luchamos hoy y lucharemos siempre por una vida justa, por el derecho de vivir con dignidad. We fight today and we will keep fighting forever for a life without injustices, for a life in freedom, for the right of dignity, for the right to raise our families in peace. Estamos luchando no solamente por una ley, por 8 horas de trabajo, por salario. Estamos luchando por la dignidad de mantener a nuestras familias felices, tranquilas y en paz. El 1 de mayo es el día de luchar por nuestra felicidad. May Day is the day to fight for our happiness. Sin migra fascista, without fascist eyes. Sin guerras, without war. Por la felicidad de todos los trabajadores de Chicago y del mundo. Hasta la victoria siempre.
Good afternoon, everyone. Margarita Morelos with Consejo de Resistencia in Casa Aguascalientes, Chicago. Today, in front of you, stands a woman, an immigrant, a Latina, who is demanding something simple, yet too often denied. Dignity and equality. We are here because we are tired to be treated as if we were less deserving, less capable, less human. As if our last names, our skin color, or where we come from should determine our worth. From lower wages for the same work, to the fear that lives in our communities because of cruel and inhuman actions against our families. Our people, hardworking, essential, are being targeted, dehumanized, and pushed into shadows. But let me be clear, no matter how hard they tried us, you cannot erase us. You cannot silence us. You cannot break us. We are not accepting less, we are taking equal. Así es que, ya saben, mi gente latina, estemos claros de algo, que no importa quién quiera minimizarnos o silenciarnos, no lo vamos a permitir, no vamos a aceptar menos, vamos a tomar lo que es igual. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! Thank you.
Gracias, Margarita. Ooh. I'm not sure what we're getting back. Can somebody take this, please? Thank you, Margarita and Jorge Mujica. Brothers and sisters, please welcome one of the most powerful labor leaders in Chicago, President of the Illinois Federation of Teachers and the President of the Chicago Teachers Union, the union fighting for our children in Chicago public schools and our community, President Stacey Davis Gates.
Whose schools? Whose city? Whose country? Are we at a rally?
Yes.
Whose democracy? You know, my name is Stacey Davis Gates, and they just introduced me as a union leader. But I want you to know that in this moment, I am a history teacher that negotiated a civic day of education for all of Chicago's children to understand the power of workers and solidarity. That's what my union has done. They are giving an education throughout this city about why coalition work is possible, and about why when workers are engaged in coalition work, we don't just make it better for ourselves, we make it better for this country. And these are lessons that we have to remind ourselves in this moment, because today I thought I was going to get up here and lament the fact that billionaires gave us a president that is dismantling democracy. I thought I was going to lament that billionaires gave us a right-wing Congress that's just watching him do it. And then I thought that I was going to talk about a Supreme Court also put together by billionaires that is going to try and stop us from doing anything about it. But then I remembered the power of workers, because I'm a history teacher. And as a history teacher, I need to remind you of the power of workers. See, workers during a war left plantations and broke the backs of the Confederacy. And in obtaining their liberation, they made the government issue a decree codifying their liberation as workers. See, without that, you don't even get a labor movement. But with that courage, They formed coalition with abolitionists, both black and white, and led by women. And these people reunited this country, but not in the same way, because when they reunited this country, they abolished slavery. They established citizenship and due process. And they enfranchised more people to the ballot box. I say this because all of those rights billionaires want to take from us today. We can retreat in this moment, or we can form coalition that is multiracial. We can form coalition that's gay, straight, queer, and trans. We can form coalition that's old and young. And we can find coalition and workers throughout every industry in this country. I am saying to you today, workers, that we must not just secure our democracy, we have to expand our democracy. And I am saying today, workers, that it was my enslaved and hey, what's going on with the body? Workers, united with community, across cultures, across industries, win the fight every time. Do not give up your power to assemble. Do not give up your power to call it power. And do not give up your power to organize. Workers over billionaires. Workers over billionaires. Workers over billionaires. Workers over billionaires. One time for Chicago. Whose schools? Whose city? Whose democracy? Whose country? Let's go, Chicago! Hello? All right. Somebody was getting a little CTU going out there. What was it? I was trying to hear it. Let's give some more love for Stacey Davis Case, you all. All right. I would now like to introduce Andy Trebbing from the Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union. Let's give it up for Andy, you all.
Thank you. Hi, all. I've always wanted to have a chance to say this. I just want to say, Chicago, I love you. Love you. I work or Starbucks or Tesla, and they want way they claim to be.
Oh, here, this one works. What the?
I'll do it right here.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. I think every time I move it, I jinx it. All right. They want wage slaves, no matter how progressive they claim to be. I think I said that. So, we are calling for a national boycott of REI's anniversary sale beginning on May 15th. Y'all hear me? All right. You can sign a pledge card at boycottrei.com. That's boycottrei.com. So please help us out. REI is nothing without its workers, and our union is nothing without people like you joining us in solidarity. We will be there with you. We will be there with you. And I thank you for letting me be here today. So they want us to take scraps and like it, but we're going to fight. And when we fight, damn right, when we fight, solidarity forever. Thank you.
We are so sorry. I think we need to scream. If we scream, could you hear us? All right, so scream, Delia. We fight in the streets. We fight in the workplaces. And some of our friends fight in Congress. But Delia Ramirez Catalina. Delia Catalina Ramirez fights with us in the streets always. Dale un aplauso grande para nuestra congresista Delia Ramirez. How's it going, Chicago? So listen, I'm one of 435 members of Congress in the House. I am one of 17 from this delegation, but every single time I'm in any room, I rep Chicago, and I tell them how we have the greatest, most powerful, courageous, organizing city in the nation. So I'm going to need you to practice what you just did, and I need you to be so loud that people in Portland, Oregon hear you. How's it going, Chicago? Let me hear you! All right, I need Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, to hear you. How are you, Chicago? Let me start by thanking all the labor leaders, the worker organizers, the advocates who are stepping up and meeting this moment as a community and as a movement. In a moment that is meant to try to test us, to try to break us, we are speaking truth to power. We're organizing to build the collective power that resists the attacks on workers, on immigrants, on our neighbors, and our rights. And on the hardest days, and let me tell you, in Washington, D.C., in those halls of Congress, when you have a Congress that wants to fund ICE and CBP with $140 million more, boo! It could feel demoralizing, but I need you to look at each other and your sides. Look around. Look around. You are the center of the resistance that is going to fight back to ensure that we are never, ever here again. And on the hardest days, I look at you and I know that we're going to be all right. Because you and I, Chicago, we are building a future where all workers, regardless of immigration status, regardless of race, regardless of zip code, are guaranteed the rights to fair wages, safe workspaces, and a dignity on the job. Am I right? And I know we're going to win because I know what we're fighting for. We are fighting to make sure that working people have every single damn thing they need to thrive. And we know how to get there because we're going to tax the rich, and I got a bill to do that. It's called the Equal Tax Act bill. Let's tax the rich and center working people. And look, when you sent me to Congress, you told me, Delia, I need you to deliver. I need you to remember where you come from, and I need you to fight like hell for workers. So 2 days ago, in the triangle in the halls of Congress, facing the Capitol, I introduced the bill that raises the minimum wage in the United States of America to $25 an hour. For every single worker, regardless of industry, no more substandard minimum wages. tax the rich. We're going to raise the wage so we can have a living wage. And let me tell you the other thing. I unapologetically serve in the Homeland Security Committee, and I walk in with the energy and the vibe to abolish ICE. And you won't be surprised by this, but I'm also the lead sponsor of the Melt ICE Act, where we're going to end detention, disrupt enforcement, and send all that money, all your money that they're spending to try to terrorize our communities, back to Chicago, back to Portland, back to Minneapolis, and to every single city that this terror organization has tried to harm. And finally, we gotta be done with these endless wars. And we have to block the bombs, don't we? We have to block the bombs. And I am your lead sponsor with 69 members of Congress co-sponsoring the bill to block bombs, because we don't want to see our money going to war. We want a free Palestine. We want children to be able to thrive and not live in fear under bomb and under siege and under occupation. So what are we going to do? We're going to stand up and what? And I know that the work that we're doing feels ambitious for some, but we're not doing it alone. We're doing it together. I want to give a big shout out to the Northwest Side progressive electeds that are around here today. A big shout out to the state reps, to the city council people, to the state senators, to the Cook County board members that you all send to fight like hell for you in every unit of government, to be accountable to you, not to the APACs, not to AI, not to crypto, not to corporations, but to the working people. So let me end by saying this. The state of the resistance is strong. I want you to look at each other and say, the state of the resistance is strong, because I am part of that resistance. So, Chicago, let me say this as I wrap up. We're going to continue to organize, am I right? Are we going to practice solidarity? Are we going to build the beloved community? Are we going to strengthen our movement? Because no matter what this fascist administration does, we will not allow them to break our spirit. We're going to show them what Chicago is made of. And let me remind you for the record, when our city is under attack, what do we do? When our immigrants are under attack, what do we do? When our workers are under attack, what do we do? When education is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back. Thank you, Chicago.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Congresswoman Delia Ramirez. Now, I want to just let y'all in on a bit of an open secret. Did you all know that a union built right here in Chicago is taking over the Midwest? I am happy to introduce Greg Kelly, President, SEIU, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas City, Missouri.
Happy May Day, Chicago, make some noise! Not in church, but I want you all to indulge me for a second. Look at your neighbor to your left and say, Happy May Day. Look at your other neighbor to the right and say, Happy May Day. This is our day. Make some noise for yourselves. As was stated, my name is Greg Kelly, and I have the honor as serving as president of SEIU Healthcare, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, a union of care workers. And I also want to shout out my sisters from local and siblings from Local 1 and Local. Make some noise for Local 73 as they are out on the strike line today. As a lifelong trade unionist, I've spent a lot of time thinking about what the word solidarity means. Use that word a lot, right? And so to be here today in a community with all of you all in solidarity is an example of what we mean. This kind of solidarity scares the folks who work so hard to keep our Supreme Court stacked and making the kinds of decisions. They don't want us to come together. They know that there's power in our beloved community. Because in the beloved community, all people are respected, cared for, and treated as equals. The beloved community fosters racial and economic justice. It fosters care. And as the president of a union of care workers, I know that care work isn't just tending to the needs of patients or care of recipients. It's taking care of our communities through action. Dr. King made it clear that the beloved community requires a commitment on all of our part, that we have the outspoken champions and stand up for racial and social justice. We all have to dismantle the systems of oppression. You have to be in solidarity, y'all, not just with people that you like. You gotta be in solidarity with people, y'all, that don't look like you, that don't speak your language, don't have your sexual orientation. Solidarity means standing up for all people. And so I am challenging all of us in this moment that as we fight back, right, that we build a beloved community where everyone is seen and everyone is heard. Because as working families, we are all in this together. And the folks we're up against, they're billions, right? They are billionaires. And they're selling out our communities. And I'm gonna get this mic together here, y'all. Thank you. We understand that when we fight together that we will win. We understand that as a beloved community fighting together that we will win. And in this moment, we understand that solidarity requires action. And so I want you all to take one small but important action right now by grabbing one of the flyers that are coming around. They're somewhere around here. We know that our state government is in the middle of a budget fight, and we want to demand that our legislators stand up for revenue, because in order to have the care that our folks need, that we need revenue for our state. And so the Illinois Revenue Alliance is passing around flyers to demand that lawmakers raise $4 billion by making big corporations, big tech, and billionaires pay what they owe, so that we can invest in health care, child care, education, housing, and more, so that we can build the beloved community that we all deserve. Y'all ready to stand up and fight? Y'all ready to build the beloved community? Make some noise! Happy May Day, everybody.
Este? O este? Let's see, could you hear me? No. Could you hear me? Yes, este no sirve. Thank you, Greg Kelly. Brothers and sisters, when the ICE Gestapo came to attack our communities in our city, we had a hotline. We had a number to call. We had for immigrant and refugee rights. Here with us today is the Executive Director from ICIR, Lawrence Benito.
Thank you, Laura. Good afternoon, Chicago. My name is Lawrence Benito. I'm the Executive Director of the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights. Here in Illinois, we have seen the horrors of ICE and CBP violence on our streets. But across the state, our neighbors came together to say, ICE out of our communities, ICE out of Illinois, and ICE out of everywhere. So many of you here today are part of our rapid response teams, school patrols, and community defense networks. And many more of you have taken action to ensure we can win state and local policies that protect our families. This has made all the difference here in Illinois. But we also know without major federal change, ICE will only continue to grow as it has over the last 2 decades under leadership of both parties. As detention centers expand and ICE continues to adopt new tactics, we are all part of the growing movement that says ICE out of our communities and abolish ICE. Abolishing ICE means winning legalization for all. It means closing detention centers.
Because they are scared of all of us. We know when we vote, we win. Let's say it together. When we vote, we win. A little loud. This November is our chance to prove it. We need to vote like our lives depend on it, because they do. From now until Election Day, Indivisible Chicago will be mobilizing volunteers here in Illinois and for our neighbors in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Iowa. We will do everything in our power to take back the House, the Senate, and our futures, and we need your help. We showed up to say hands off Chicago, to declare no kings, and to demand abolish ICE. And we will never stop fighting for what the fascist Trump regime fears most. All of us, our votes, our voices, our freedom, and our power. So let's say it together. When we fight, we win. When we unify, we win. When we organize, we win. And when we vote, all of us, we win. So thank you, Chicago. Happy May Day, and let's go.
an issue with these mics today, but we're doing our best, brothers and sisters, and we're almost done. Brothers and sisters, this man needs no introduction. He is a kick-ass organizer, a leader in Chicago for decades that we love and respect. Please welcome G2 Brown from the Kenwood Oakland Community Organization, Coco.
Oh snap! Oh snap! Who's school? Who's school? Who's school? Who's school? I'm not feeling that. So
No.
I'm gonna need y'all to give me a little more love.
G2, try this one, please. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna need y'all to give me a little more love than that. Is that better? Who's school? Who's school? Who's school? Who's city? Who's city? Who's country? Who's country? If we don't get it, no, y'all don't mean that. If we don't get it, 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 I said if we don't get it, the type of solidarity, well first, I'm G2 Brown, proud son of the Kenwood Oakland Community Organization, the oldest black-led community organizer group in the city of Chicago. But we are not alone. We got other black-led organizing groups, Westside Health Authority, Every Block of Village, Team Inglewood, People for Community Recovery, and what is going this moment, because we see what the Supreme Court did, right? We saw them attack women's reproductive rights. We saw them gut the Voting Rights Act. We see them banning books where children cannot learn black history. Taking down monuments of black people all over the country. We see them trying to kill Medicaid. They are enacting their vision of the world. They're not just pushing back. They are saying, this is the way we want the world to look, and damn it, we gonna do it. So for us to win, it requires more than solidarity at a rally. It requires all of us at the table, as sisters and brothers, together dreaming a better world. Dreaming a better world. So do not look at this as the apex. Look at this as a moment that can propel us forward. I want to say this to you. I'm also the National Director of the Journey for Justice Alliance, a national alliance of grassroots groups across the country fighting for education justice. We are part of a group called the Alliance to Reclaim Our Schools. About 12 years ago, we were at a meeting where the president of the Minneapolis Teachers Union was talking about bargaining for the common good and how to put community demands inside of the teacher union's contract. At that time, our school board was all appointed. So we knew we could not win sustainable community schools going to the school board. I looked at Jackson Potter. He looked at me. And I said, we could do that in Chicago. He said, yes. And then the Chicago Teachers Union took the dream of sustainable community schools, which emerged from the fight for Dyett High School in 2015, and in an act of radical solidarity, they put it in the teacher union's contract. And today, we are well on our way to Chicago becoming a sustainable community school district. People are mad. They mad because we're talking about investing in neighborhood schools. They pissed off. So what it is going to take is that type of solidarity. Let's make sure in Chicago and across the country that we bring black groups into the center. We bring black groups into the center, not at the end, but in the beginning, so we can dream this together. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Because for us to have a better world, our adversaries are not just the MAGAs.
Our adversaries are the corporate Democrats. Our adversaries are all those people for years who have watched our communities become decimated. But I dream a better world. What about you? I dream a world where we have grocery stores, not liquor stores. I dream a world where we all have health care. I dream a world where our children can go to great neighborhood schools down the street from their home. Is that the type of world that you want? I dream a world where immigrants are safe. I dream a world where we stop looking at people that are privileged and call them powerful. Real quick before I get off the stage, we were fighting Rahm Emanuel around Dyett High School. The people stormed the stage at Malcolm X College, ran Rahm Emanuel off the stage. He finally met with us in the back. And we said something to him that stuck with me. We said, you think you're powerful. You're actually privileged. We're powerful. See, you're the power. You're the power. You're the power. So I want y'all to say it like you mean it. Whose city? Our city. Whose city? Our city. Whose city? Our city. Whose country? Our country. Whose country? Our country. If we don't get it, hold on, man. Jay, I'm about to get off the stage. If we don't get it, 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 all that shit. All right.
All right, thank you, G2 Brown. We're trying to get this program finished. We got about 10 more minutes so we can start marching. Now we have Brenda Palomares, a member of Warehouse Workers for Justice, to speak for us today. She's a Latina warehouse worker fighting to raise wages and for safety extreme temperature conditions. We welcome to the stage the worker centers of the Chicagoland area and the Raise the Floor Alliance members. Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Brenda Palomares. Soy una mujer latina, orgullosa y fuerte. Soy mamá, esposa y madre de 4 hijos. Estoy aquí representando a Warehouse Workers for Justice. También estoy aquí en el escenario con mis compañeros, trabajadores y organizadores de Rise and the Floor Alliance. Una coalición que lucha por todos los trabajadores con bajos salarios en la ciudad y estado. Saludos a los demás trabajadores que están presentes. Hoy me pregunto, ¿por qué vine a la marcha? Estoy aquí para que todos sepan que hoy es el día en que defendemos los derechos del trabajador, los inmigrantes y la comunidad. Hoy nos unimos para defender a las comunidades negras y latinas del terror del gobierno y de ICE. Nos unimos para recuperar nuestro país de las manos de los multimillonarios que son dueños de las empresas que donan dinero a Trump y a sus aliados. Protestamos por los niños inocentes y por las personas asesinadas y detenidas por ICE. Ellos creen que somos débiles. ¿Lo somos? Miren a su alrededor. ¡Somos fuertes! Yo soy un ejemplo de que si conoces tus derechos, no es tan fácil ser humillados y ya no es tan sencillo clavar la mirada al suelo. Yo trabajé en una bodega donde sufrí acoso y la intimidación por parte de gerentes y supervisores, y el ambiente era hostil y abusivo, y la temperatura era extrema en el verano y en el invierno. A través
de estas organizaciones que están con Rise de Flor, encontré a Warehouse Workers for Justice. Y me di cuenta de que lo que me pasó fue ilegal. Me di cuenta de que tengo derechos. Y lo más importante que aprendí es que cuando los trabajadores somos unidos, podemos ganar respeto y recuperar nuestra dignidad. Entonces, ¿quién está listo para un salario justo? ¿Quién está listo para parar a ICE? ¿Quién está listo para luchar contra Trump? Hoy estoy junto a miles de trabajadores de todas las industrias que saben que nuestra mano de obra impulsa este país y que merecemos vivir y trabajar con dignidad y no con miedo. Juntos haremos que este futuro sea realidad. ¡Sí se puede! 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 Sí, gracias. ¡Gracias!
All right, everyone. I have the honor to introduce someone who is just an organizing powerhouse. Her name is Nadia. She is one of the baddest youth organizers in this city. She's here today representing the coalition against the Trump agenda. Let's warm it up for Nadia, y'all.
All right, Chicago! Let's start off with the chant! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! My name is Nadia Eliafi, a member of the Chicago chapter of the United States Palestinian Community Network. USPCN is here today as a leading organizational member of the Coalition Against the Trump Agenda, CATA, a growing united front of movements throughout Chicago. The movements leading the coalition are immigrant rights organizations, Black liberation, women's rights movements, Palestinian organizations, union and other labor organizations, student organizations, and so many more. I can't even name them all. We are united in our collective struggle against an agenda that seeks to divide, oppress, and marginalize our state. Shame!
When it's quiet.
We are a year into the white supremacist Trump presidency, and his regime has already unleashed a full-scale attack on immigrants, Black, and other working-class communities. Say shame! Our city is home to one of the largest Palestinian communities in the United States, alongside a broader Arab immigrant population that has been at the front line of the immigrant rights and other movements in the city. We were there alongside many of you when we put almost 1 million people in the streets to defeat the Sensen Burner Bill in 2006. And now, 20 years later, we are still fighting strong for justice for our communities. This administration deliberately targeted our community, attacking youth and students and even legal permanent residents who dare to speak against U.S. foreign policy and support of the Israeli genocide, as well as a travel ban targeting 41 countries and its roots in anti-Arab and anti-Black racism. Through the CATA Coalition, we have organized mass mobilizations as a direct response to the repressions our communities have faced. Our communities have built strong rapid response teams anchored by ICER, the Illinois Coalition for Immigrants and Refugee Rights, that covers all areas
members. We in USVCN, alongside our partners in the Coalition for Justice in Palestine, were in the streets every week for 3 years since the genocide in Gaza began, and we made it clear that the Palestinian liberation and the fight to end the genocide is directly connected to black liberation and legalization for all, and labor rights and worker rights. And that is why it's important for all of our movements to engage in collective struggle, because our people are not free until we are all free. We saw how this played out when our collective movement built a united front as we collectively work to beat back efforts like Midway Blitz, mobilizing against the deployment of the National Guard in our communities, and of course, exposing the corrupt, reactionary AIPAC lobby, making them a political pariah in Illinois. Whether it is ICE raids, police violence, imperialist wars abroad, or economic exploitation at home, these systems harming us are one and the same: U.S. imperialism, capitalism, and white supremacy, and of course, they must be dismantled. Let me wrap it up here. We must continue to fight back against the reactionary, racist Trump agenda and build the united front. We must call out Illinois Treasurer Michael Frericks to abandon Israeli bonds, because our tax money should not be invested in genocide. We must stop the U.S. war machine here and abroad, and instead invest in money for jobs, education, and infrastructure. There's real lives on the line, like the tens and thousands killed in Palestine, or the 19 Filipinos massacred just 2 weeks ago by U.S.-backed armed forces on the Philippines and Toboso Negros Island, 2 of whom were American citizens. Say shame! Shame! And we will continue to build our power, organize our communities, and take action at every level. This is an extension of a long struggle to fight the racist and reactionary Trump agenda. And we know when we fight together, we won! When we fight together, we won! Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Nadia. All right, we're getting close to the end of this program. We're going to start marching. So brothers and sisters, you've seen thousands of students here today. So with us, rooted in radical spoken word team from Van Steuben High School, champion big team. Please welcome Isa Medrano, Jocelyn Mendina, Aurora Rodriguez, Jackie Chavez from Van Steuben High School. Give it up to the students.
Let's go, we got it. She's amazing.
So the guy has me sing on the stage. He's a sound man. He knows me. He could have provided me with sound, but he packs it all up, just not go up there. And I was there with nothing, and they're marching, and I'm doing John Henry. It's recorded on YouTube. It was maybe 10 years ago. I should be singing on the stage. But I said that to somebody else the other day. Yeah, the first stage out of town.
Got it.
Hi, my name is Aurora.
My name's Jocelyn.
My name's Jackie. My name is Isabel. We come from Virgin Palestine Center and the Southern Northeast. We cannot stop it.
That's what I'm talking about. I should be on the stage. So he went like, yeah, you should be on the stage.
Hey, Patriots!
First one
Are
out
you
of town.
struggling financially?
In need of some compensation, if you know what I mean.
In need of feeling like a man?
Girls, no morals, all the more appealing. Criminal record, whatever.
Uneducated?
Not a problem.
Ugly?
We give out free masks anyways. Join ICE. Did I mention a signing bonus? $50,000.
Give or take.
Provided by our
taking a quick break here. I think we're still waiting on, I see the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, is nearby, so I think he's going to be the last speaker, and then this whole crowd is going to march, I suspect, to the scene of the Haymarket Memorial. It's about a mile from here. This, again, is that crowd of thousands that are out here in Chicago today. And I'm only able to show you one side of it. There's a whole other side to this stage. I came to stand over here so that you could have easier access to the speakers, so we could get good sound here for the stream from the speakers. But there are many people out here today, which, again, it doesn't quite measure up to the size of the crowd that was here for No Kings in March, but it's quite close. As you see over here in this group, in this crowd is where the mayor, Brandon Johnson, is. Last fall at a No Kings protest, Mayor Brandon Johnson spoke about the need for a general strike in the United States. I'm interested to see if he renews that call again today, as we have seen some fledgling efforts, most notably in Minnesota and Minneapolis, where we were on the ground for their general strike back in January. We've seen some of those fledgling efforts take off here in the United States, and some pushes even today to suspend economic activity in the country in parallel to things like the No Kings marches or May Day today.
They don't even lie badly anymore. This isn't just a speech. This is our reality. Empty desks. Our classmates. Terrorized. Tear gas. Traumatized. They blame immigrants so that you will blame the pedo-in-chief. Mothers and fathers taken. Children forced to follow in footsteps they did not take. Leaving their homes. Taking paths that they did not make. They're coming. They're coming.
This is probably a good time as we wait for the speeches to wrap up here and for the march to get underway. It's probably a good time for me to remind you to like and share this stream. It's the only way we get it out to more people.
Let's give it up some more for them, everybody.
YouTube actively tries to suppress real on-the-ground reporting like this, and so we're only able to get this out if you send a signal to the algorithm by liking and sharing the stream. Are we able to get it out?
And I think we all want to show a bit of appreciation for. When this city was under siege, it felt good to know that it was being led by a mayor that had the clarity, determination, courage to assert that those who wish to terrorize families in Chicago, be it in Brighton Park, Little Village, or South Shore, would not be able to stage and conspire on public property in this city, who immediately resisted attempts by the military standing up strategically without hesitation to the Trump administration. The clarity to know that it's better for corporations to pay their fair share than to heap taxes on the backs of working families and seniors struggling to make ends meet. We're not surprised by the action of this mayor, as he comes from the movements forged by community and labor coalitions, rooted in the right of communities in this city to live with dignity and respect. I am proud to introduce the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Whoa, what's up, Chicago? Are you all ready to defend our democracy? Are you prepared to protect the humanity of workers across the globe? This is what democracy looks like. Happy International Workers' Day. The fight for justice continues. Over 140 years ago, there were some brave working people that stood firm, fighting for dignity, fighting for respect, fighting to make sure that the values of working people are front and center. And now here we are 140 years later with the same forces that killed our brothers and sisters,
the same forces that work to undermine working people, the ultra-rich and the oligarch in this country and in this world, they are attacking working people again, but we are not going to stand for it. Is that right, Chicago? But I'm going to tell you what, here's what we're going to stand for. We're going to make sure that the working people of this city have all of the benefits that they deserve. Whether you are a tip worker, that's right. Whether you are working at Starbucks, whether you are a public school teacher, or a child care provider, or if you work in a factory and manufacturing, all workers deserve dignity and respect. And we're not going to stop fighting until every single worker and every single working family in this city and in this country and in this world, that we get our fair share of the equitable distribution of the wealth. Are you right? Are you with me, workers? And so listen, we're about to march and take it to the streets, but I want to make sure that people are absolutely clear. Whether you are a black worker, whether you are a white worker, an Asian worker, a brown worker, whether you have documentation or whether you've been here all your life, you deserve to be fully respected and regarded, and your humanity has to be protected. Are you with me, Chicago? So let's fight for it. Let's make sure that our schools are fully funded. Let's make sure that there's health care for all. Let's make sure that there are good paying jobs for everyone. And here's the big part, you all. The ultra rich in this country and on this planet, we demand that they pay their fair share in taxes. The fight continues for justice. Now let's march. God bless you. God bless the greatest city in the world, the city of Chicago. Fight on. Solidarity forever.
Are y'all ready to take it to the street? Are y'all ready to take it to the street? You gotta make us. Y'all gotta be ready. Are you ready? Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Who's got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? People power. Who's got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? People power. Who's got the power? We got the power. Who's got the power? People power. Who's got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? People power. What kind of power?
Now I'm moving with the crowd here over towards the scene of the march. And I needed to get out of there because we were standing right next to the speakers, and I'm sure my ears are going to be ringing for the next couple of days because those speakers were loud.
Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Who got the power? We got the power. Who got the power? We got the power. Who got the power? We got the power.
And as I make my way over to the scene of the march here, now would be a good time to remind you that we're on the ground, not just here in Chicago today, but we're going to be on the ground twice in New York City. We were already live there once, and we're going to be live there again after I am done here around 4 o'clock Eastern, and then there's a chance also that we might be live in Minneapolis at 5 o'clock Eastern as well. So we try to be in a lot of places here at Status Coup and report on the ground for a lot of different things. And if you've been a fan of us for, I mean, you don't even have to have been a fan of us for very long to have seen us on the ground. I mean, just hell, over the last year when we've been on the ground in New York, D.C., L.A., Alligator, Alcatraz, here in Chicago for 2 months, Minneapolis for 2 months, and Charlotte as well. And I'm going to try and get over here and show you the scope of the crowd that is laid out here for this march. You see people are moving across the road here and then lined up down there. Thousands of people out here for this march, and it does appear to me that the goal indeed is to at least based on how they're lining up so far. It seems like the goal is to march to the scene of the Haymarket shooting and the memorial there for the workers who were killed back in the 1880s. I'm going to get into this crowd and start doing interviews here in just a minute, but I have to collapse up the camera, or collapse my tripod a little bit, because I am just a one-man band, so that way I can move and do the interviews and everything along the way, and I'm not tripping over the extended tripod here. There we go. But yes, we're the leading on-the-ground independent outlet. To do all that on-the-ground reporting I was just talking about a minute ago is not cheap. It costs us thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do over the course of a year, and we're only able to do it with the support of our members. We take that money, we invest it back into our on-the-ground reporting and growing our team here at Status Coup. I'll note that since our producer Michelle joined us, and that was actually before I even came on board, but the Status Coup team has doubled in size, and we are only looking to grow more here. At least if you know, from what my boss Jordan Sheridan tells me. So we're excited, and we'd be excited to have your support. So again, statuscoup.com/join. It would be a huge help. What's that? Yes, sir.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Would you mind if I interviewed you?
No, I don't want to be on.
No?
I remember you from, where was that?
Broadview?
Yeah. It's out there a lot. Is it still going on? Last time I was there with that, was Renee Good passed away in January.
Yep, they've still been holding actions out there.
Every Friday?
Saturdays.
Saturdays?
Yeah, Saturdays at noon have been the main time.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, this is a big turnout. There you go. Sorry, we're getting talked to by fans out here, everybody, which always nice, though I'm trying to keep entertaining for you guys, so I try not to, I don't want to blow anyone off, but I do also want to keep the stream entertaining for all of you. But we get quite a bit of attention whenever I come back on the ground here in Chicago. People know us because we were on the ground here for 2 months during the ICE occupation of this city last fall, and that's exactly what that gentleman was recognizing me from. And as I was talking to that guy, another guy came up and said that we were doing a good job. Pardon me, folks. Pardon me. I'm a reporter. I'm out here interviewing people about why they wanted to be in the streets today. Would you guys mind if I interviewed one of you? All right. Can't make it. The march is now getting underway. Should remind you all to like and share the stream again. Social media companies, and YouTube is a social media company, but even if you're watching this on X, on anywhere where we're streaming right now, I would encourage you to like, share the stream, because YouTube does its utmost to suppress on-the-ground journalism like this, prevent it from being shared. So we have to fight back against the algorithm's natural tendencies by getting people to share the stream and tell the algorithm that this is something that people want to see. So even if you can't support us financially, just taking that simple act of liking the stream or sharing it goes a long way to helping us here at Status Coup and the Midas Touch Network get out these streams that we do, these on-the-ground reporting trips that we do. And I'm kind of, if you're wondering why I'm not doing interviews right now, first of all, I was trying to get us into the march, and now that I'm in the march, the part where we are right now, the street is lined on both sides, so people can't really shift much from side to side, so I'm having problems getting around. Like, I see people with signs that I'm very interested in interviewing, but I haven't been able to get to them just yet. Because the crowd is packed so tight. But here in just a few feet, we're going to be entering an intersection. Things will open up a little bit. Pardon me. Would you mind if I interviewed you? What's your name?
Sharon.
Sharon?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me put this microphone on you, Sharon, and let me get in front of you, and I'll walk backwards as we talk.
Okay. if you can fit.
I think we get this on. You good? Hopefully that's on there. All right. Let's, if we don't mind switching spots a little bit.
Sure.
Oh, it's tight in here. All right. Can I get you to say your name one more time?
Sure. It's Sharon Shapiro. That's Sheron. Last name Shapiro. Shapiro.
All right, Sharon. So why don't you start by walking me through your sign here?
So this was just handed to me, but I am a staunch supporter of one fair wage. Who are the people directly behind us? It's clear that affordability is a major issue. And for years, corporations have gotten away with paying next to nothing, and that includes tipped employees. I personally have worked in restaurants where management has had you tip out the bartenders and also bussers, and so sometimes even the wages that you receive on top of the sub-minimum wage are not your own. We're out here for many reasons on May Day, being pro-union, being, former NOLSW, United Auto Workers, being a current CTU member, and also being support of fair living wage.
So, wages is the issue that you're addressing the most here, and that your sign addresses. Is that, and you're referencing a lot of issues that could get you in the street. But is it wages that? What I'm trying to connect people to is, one, the history, since we're in Chicago, the impetus for International Workers' Day, is the Haymarket Affair. They're fighting for work days. Is wages the modern work issue? Like, what are the modern concerns for workers?
It's health care. It's everything that should be socialized that isn't. It's everything that makes life unaffordable. And it's solidarity. So when we're talking about the international workers' struggle, it's not just about American workers. It's about everyone in the world and how we're connected and how we can help support each other so that we're not competing for scraps.
I just listened to Delia Ramirez on the stage talk about how she introduced a bill fighting for $25 an hour.
Yes.
Is that enough?
It's a start. It's definitely a start. But it's a start. It's a beginning. You know, it's not an end point. But Delia most definitely has the correct idea. We need to at least start there. There are states, fortunately not our own, but Indiana, where the state wage mirrors the federal wage, and that is absolutely egregious. Nobody can afford to live on that.
How would you like to see elected Democrats fight for this vision for a worker-centered movement here in the United States? What steps should elected Democrats be taking right now?
Well, the elected Democrats need to stop taking corporate money. They need to stop taking AIPAC money. When they're not selling us out is when they'll finally, get on board with working people. Until then, they're going to vote against our interests.
Until then, they're going to vote against your interests. Are there any Democrats you want to call out in particular that you see as particular offenders here?
There are so many. I mean, basically anybody who takes AIPAC, and there are so many, or AI money, or, they're all connected. Unfortunately, all the corporate Democrats have handlers, but that would include Chuck Schumer. That would include. There's so many people.
Maybe an easier question would have been asking you to name Democrats who don't.
Right? Yeah. I think that is an easier question. Quite honestly, Delia would definitely be one of those individuals.
Yeah, and I think. You immediately hone in on some of those special interests, the AI money, AIPAC money,
right.
And you're naming some of these special interests by name. I think there was a time, not even that long ago, where a lot of this would have been pretty opaque to the average American. They would not have known about AIPAC. I think at this point it's probably a household name.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these special interests are, what do you think is contributing to this becoming more of a widespread awareness in the American public?
Yeah.
Are American workers waking up to the fact that they have more in common than they do separate?
I think they are. I think also the struggle for Palestinian liberation has really put AIPAC in the spotlight, and AIPAC is so scared because they've become so unpopular that they've created these shell packs, which we also have to fight against.
And we saw them use some of those here in Illinois during your primary, where we were here reporting on primary night. Some of those.
That's right. That's unfortunately why Donna Miller is going to represent our district instead of somebody like Robert Peters, who refused AIPAC money.
But you also did see some progressive wins that night as well. Juliana Stratton for the Senate, and she's actually part of kind of now a small group, but a group now of senators, progressive-leaning senators that are starting to win or surge ahead in primaries. You got Abdul Al-Sayed doing quite well in Michigan right now. Graham Plattner seems to have all but lapped up the Democratic primary in the state of Maine.
Yeah.
What's the? I mean, do you feel buoyed at all by that? Does that give you hope for the future?
I'm not sure that I would call Juliana Stratton a true.
You're not going to throw her in the bucket with the others.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm not sure about that. I'm hopeful. We'll see what happens. We know that she's taken corporate money before, so hopefully she'll hang in there and she'll work for the people.
Thinking about something that is truly nationwide, because we talked to a nationwide audience. Over this, his now second administration, Donald Trump has enriched his personal net worth to the tune of billions, while you're out here talking about tipped wages in the United States, where the tipped wage is still $2.33 an hour and has not budged for decades. How does it make you feel to see a president enriching himself and his family to the tune of billions, while workers get absolutely nothing from the administration?
It's disgusting. It's absolutely fucking vile, but it's expected. We knew who he was. I mean, we've always known who he is. It's just absolutely repulsive. I don't know if there's anything more to say about it than that.
I mean, what more can you say on top of it's absolutely repulsive?
Yeah.
You've been very generous with your time. Is there anything else you would want to add while you had the platform?
No, but happy May Day to all of your viewers, and JT, thank you, and thanks Status Coup for all you do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me steal this back from you.
We watched you on the afternoon that Alex Preddy was murdered.
Yeah.
We watched you and your coverage in that crowd in Minneapolis. That's some of the most amazing first-person reportage I've ever seen. Thank you for that, because otherwise we would not have known just how viciously the cops actually attacked the crowd that day. It was awful. Nobody else covered that in the same way, so I really appreciate that.
But you all are too kind, and I'm gonna walk away before I blush even harder. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir, so much for your time. As I said, we got fans here on the ground for Status Coup. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, it seems like a great time to plug our reporting yet again. The reporting that we've done on the ground in cities like Chicago, where we were here on the ground for 2 months. In Minneapolis, you were just hearing them talk about the day that Alex Preddy was killed, when we were the first outlet, I believe, to go live from the scene where Alex Preddy was shot and killed. And yeah, we were out there for 4 hours in sub-zero temperatures. It was so cold I lost feeling in my hand at one point, and we endured hours, I am not exaggerating, hours of tear gassing from federal, state, and local authorities against the crowd that came out to protest. The gunning down of their neighbors in the street. We endeavor to always be doing this on-the-ground reporting like I'm doing here, showing and lifting up as many of these voices as possible. And if you want to support that reporting, go to statuscoup.com/join. But enough paying the bills here. Like I said, I want to lift up the voices of people who are actually out here in the street. So let's try and get a few more of those interviews. And I also have to keep an eye on the time. And I've still got a few more minutes with you before I have to toss back to Jordan Sheridan, our fearless leader here at Status Coup, over in New York, where he will be covering more of the May Day demonstrations out in New York here. I have to toss back to him around 4 o'clock Eastern. But here's the thing. I'm live on our channel right now, so I can keep this. I can keep you guys hostage and focused on me for as long as I can. And Jordan can't do anything about it. So maybe I keep you for a few minutes longer if we're hearing from lots of great people out here. But let's actually start trying to hear from those people. Apologies. I'm a reporter. I'm out interviewing people about why they want to be out here today. Would you mind if I interviewed you guys?
Reporting for
Status Coup, online independent progressive outlet. We're affiliated with the Midas Touch Network. Yeah? Yeah? Probably not. Yeah. I can't make you. Can't make you. Pardon me, ma'am. I'm a reporter. I'm out here interviewing people about why they wanted to be part of the march today. Would you mind if I interviewed you, asked you a few questions? Oh, I love it when people get volunteered for me.
No, not me.
No?
Talk to my agent.
Talk to your agent. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can't make you. I appreciate the time. Pardon me. I'm a reporter. I'm out here interviewing people about why they wanted to be part of the march today. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions? You're getting volunteered? No? I can make you, but I thought I would ask. All right. Got a lot of shy people in the crowd today. Pardon me, sir. I'm a reporter. I'm out here interviewing people about why they wanted to be part of the march today. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
Probably better to talk to some of our members.
Sorry?
Probably better to talk to some of our members here from the Starbucks Workers United.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, you want to find somebody? I would love that. Pardon me. I was just pointed in your direction. I'm a reporter. I'm interviewing people about why they want to be part of the march today, and I got told that I was kind of in the middle of a bunch of Starbucks workers. I didn't realize it. Would you mind if I asked you about the organizing you're doing at Starbucks? What you're fighting for?
I don't know. I'm not like necessarily a spokesperson. Who are you with?
Status Coup, online independent progressive outlet. We're affiliated with the Midas Touch Network.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of statement are you looking for?
I'm really just looking for why do you want to be in the march today? What's the, what do you feel like are the main struggles facing workers today? Pretty perfunctory kind of, overarching stuff. I promise not to get too far in the weeds with you.
Yeah. I would, but I just started working with Starbucks Workers United, and I don't necessarily want to give quotes without.
Well, is there anybody you would point me to that you think would be good to talk to?
If you hang out with the route, we're actually going to go to a canvas, a picket at the Starbucks store at Washington and Clinton.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have a contingent there at Washington and Clinton at a Starbucks store, and there's workers there. I'm a staff organizer, so there's a bunch of workers there, and I think they would be great people to get quotes from.
Okay. All right.
So
well,
if you're with the march, we're going past there, and we're going to be going past a picket at one of the Starbucks stores.
Got it. What was the cross street of the store again?
Washington and Clinton.
Thank you.
That's where we're going to be.
Appreciate that. Are you the Easter Bunny or?
Honestly, it's an old Easter Bunny costume, but I just wanted to come in favor of the mascots, I figure.
Would you? I'm a reporter. Would you mind if I interviewed you?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Here, I got a microphone I got to put on you though. This will be tough.
Can I put on my mask?
Yeah. Think you can get it under there?
Yeah. Wait, let's see. Will this work?
All right, and I'll walk backwards and we can keep marching.
Okay, cool.
So can I have you start just by giving your name or however you'd like to be identified?
Yeah, I'd rather be called B Bunny.
The Bunny. Okay, so thanks for talking to me, Bunny. I really appreciate it. Why did you want to be out in the streets today? What made you want to be a part of the march?
Well, there's a number of reasons. First and foremost, I think, there's a necessary amount of solidarity among working class people, especially to address the confluence of crises that we have happening in the United States, not only the rise of authoritarianism and fascism in our government and the degradation of our democracy, but also the disentangling from our climate policy and all of the forward-thinking policies that we've had to support normal people and our ability to have a future. I think billionaires are really ruining our country.
All right, and you'll have to forgive me because I can't hear a word you're saying,
cool.
But it will come through for the camera.
Sounds great.
So I just have to trust that you're answering my questions.
I'm doing my best.
All right. So why the costume? What made you want to put on? You told me off camera that it was an old Easter Bunny costume.
Yeah.
Why did you want to wear the costume today?
Well, it's multifold. So first of all, I'm sort of representing the non-human animals that can't necessarily understand what's going on, and all of the life that will be subjugated to the effects of climate change. But also because I know the rise of AI and the pervasive mass surveillance that's happening all across the country, but also in Chicagoland, I felt it was important to obscure my identity. That's also why I gave you a false name. But so there's several considerations. Plus, I figure white bunny, white as snow, innocence, and especially in light of all of the horrible stuff that's been going on, and in honor of all the protesters in Portland. That's why I got my froggy up top as well, with the flag in distress. Because I really think it's a matter of life or death for our 250-year-old democracy.
I can tell you're giving great answers, so I can't wait to watch this back and actually hear what you're saying later. I'm glad it's coming across from my camera and my audience. But I've been asking everybody here in the crowd, or my goal is to ask everybody here in the crowd that I talk to. We're walking to the scene of the Haymarket incident.
Yes.
That really is the origination for International Workers' Day.
Absolutely.
Across the world.
Yeah.
And at the time, they were fighting for work days, for 8-hour work days.
Right.
What do you feel like are the main issues facing workers today that necessitates workers being in the streets like this?
Okay, so I think we have ICE coming into workplaces and abducting people off the streets. So that's first and foremost. Secondarily, we just generally have disempowerment of workers across the board. Corporations have been getting away with murder. I think in the truest sense of the word, but I think that it's a time that we start actually
capitalizing on the fact that we have wonderful technology and resources to be able to allow people to have less work to do, have a more fruitful life, invest in care that right now is a cost rather than a benefit to our society. People don't have the time to take care of their loved ones. Instead, they have to pay for that service to be done by somebody else. So I think it's we need a reorganization, we need a recalibration of what our actual values are, and we need people in the street to commune, share ideas, and actually find our way forward. So I think it's important for everybody to stand up, not only for the people who are being disappeared, but also for the people who disappear from our statistics and the stories that we actually hear in the media right now, which again is capital controlled. So.
We're living through a time where costs for workers is going through the roof. It has been for years. It was inflation during the Biden years. Now Trump is basically imposing his own inflation on the country right now.
And playing market games.
Through things like the war in Iran being the most obvious example. But what are some areas in your life where you're seeing those rising costs that is either impacting you directly or maybe your fellow workers or your family?
I mean, like the first one that comes to mind is clearly gas. I mean, like I think the whole fib about how this situation was going to make us more energy independent was a farce. I mean, it's clear that the trajectory needs to be shifted towards renewables. But I think in terms of like cost of living stuff in general, I mean, both of my parents and my grandparents are having issues with paying medical debt. My sister is still paying off her master's degree and her student loans. I'm still paying off my student loans. I probably will never own a house because of the way that I grew up and my financial situation. And it's not like a matter of defeatism. It's just that is the situation. I don't have the time to be able to wait out the interest rates and such. Plus, we're also seeing the devaluation of the dollar and him playing games with Truth Social announcements that impact our global markets. So I think it's a matter of cost of living generally going up in a way that's egregious and untenable. And we're only just seeing the beginning. Like we're going to continue to see the dissolution of our agricultural systems and dysregulation that comes with the climate crisis as it unfolds. Yeah, I forgot the question. I'm so sorry. I lost your question.
I was just asking where in your life are you seeing costs going up?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I would also say that the cost for access to nature is going up as well. And then I think also the human cost, like the loss of friends and relationships with people who don't necessarily understand the rise of fascism or recognize it as such. So that's been distressing as well. Seeing people that I thought were allies actually turn out to be more willing to accept hate than I am comfortable with. So there's been a lot of costs to pay, and I just hope that we have a future that it pays into.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Anything else you would want to add while you had the platform?
Yeah, just if anyone has the potential yard space or ability to, please support your native species in the area and native people's right to land back and other water protections, especially because as we go forward, if the billionaires get control of everything and they eat it all with data centers, there won't be a future for us. They don't believe in humanity, so please believe in humanity. Plant natives, support pollinators, do your best. And show up when you can. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I really hope that you didn't spend that whole time telling everybody that, like, I don't know. Hopefully you weren't talking shit about me the whole time. All right, excellent. Thank you for your time. Oh yeah. So I'm a reporter for Status Coup. Yeah, take a picture of that. Yeah, that's where it is. We were live during that, so yeah. You did great. I'm sure you did great. I couldn't hear it, but you acted confident, and that's half the battle. Thank you. All right. I'm seeing some parents here with adorable kids. I'm going to try and get interviews with them. Got to get out ahead of them, though. Pardon me, sir. Yeah. I'm a reporter. I'm out here interviewing people about why they wanted to be part of the march. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions? Sure. All right, I got to put a microphone on you.
If you can find a spot.
Yep. You've got a perfect spot right there.
Oh, perfect.
All right. But I have you just start by saying your name or however you'd like to be identified.
Sure, Mark Vanderhoff. Got it.
All right, Mark. So, what made you want to be here in the streets today?
So many reasons, but there's a lot going on, and it feels a lot better. You see how many people are kind of aligned in the power we have collectively.
Yeah, and you're doing the same march that everybody else is doing, but you're carrying some extra weight on your back. I think both literally and probably as a heavy-handed metaphor here. You're a parent, I assume, here. So right now we're seeing a lot of rising costs in the United States. Workers are being burdened with things like rising gas. What are some ways that you and your family are struggling with rising prices right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything, right? It's literally everything. It's the cost of childcare. It's our struggling schools. We're sending money to a lot of places overseas, to lots of ICE services that we don't need. They're actually hurting our communities when it could be doing so much good for families and everyone.
I mean, you call out ICE hurting communities. I mean, you would have seen it up close here in Chicago last fall. Can you talk about how it may have disrupted your day-to-day life or how it impacted you when it was literally that close?
Yeah, absolutely. So, live on the north side, but it was all over the city, right, and the suburbs. Like, it seemed to not matter. There was in Irving Park, very, very close to where we live, a Halloween parade for kids was affected by tear gas. It was just the insanity, just breaking of these norms that we thought were going to keep us safe, and we see that's not the case, so we're keeping each other safe.
Why was it important for you to bring your kid along for the march today?
We do a lot of these kinds of things. His mom is very, very active in organizing, and so we're here. A big part of it is supporting her and her comrades, but also for the kids to see that this is the kind of thing that's possible when we work together.
So when we work together, we can achieve things. What are the things that you feel like workers today should be striving to achieve? Really, I'm kind of connecting this back to the Haymarket Affair in the 1880s that led to the International Workers' Day. At the time, they were fighting for an 8-hour workday. What are the modern struggles that you feel like workers as a collective should be working towards today?
I think, billionaires do not need to exist. And just, there's so much good we can affect when we realize our power, again, collectively, and the things we can do together. And there's sort of this, this thought that a lot of this is been considered sort of written in stone, and there's not much we can do to change it, and we've got to wait for things to trickle down to us, and it's not the case. So realizing our power, fighting for fair pay, livable wages, and thinking about the environment, how a lot of even the jobs that are around and the growth that we do see are things that are really bad for the planet that aren't ultimately going to be sustainable. And for, when he's my age, what's that going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about when he's your age. I'm a new father too, so I'm thinking about a lot of that, about where things are going to be in 30, 40 years down the line. Where do you see pessimism, optimism? Where do you see the country being 30, 40 years from now for your kids?
I feel pessimistic overall, but I also think it's important to have some hope. And I feel like being with people like this and everybody who's out today is we've got to believe in something. We've got to be working towards something. And there's so many people doing little things that might not be the headlines that sort of lead us all to feel pessimistic about things, which is why it's important to be out in the streets and be like, oh, right, real people making real change. There's so many groups represented here. There's so much that they're doing to try to improve things. And I think seeing people, this age getting involved and people older and of all ages, like we're starting to see that take root. And I think it's going to be really powerful over the next couple generations, I hope.
You talked about you don't want to see, you don't think billionaires should exist. Right now we have a billionaire in the White House. Right. Donald Trump has enriched himself just this term to the tunes of billions of dollars, he and his family. I'm just curious, have you felt similar gains? Has your net worth increased by several $1 billion over the last year?
It has not.
No, it has not. Ah, okay. Understood. Well, you talked about some of the rising prices, but I mean, do you feel like you are better off than you were in any way from a year or two ago?
Not for, I mean, you sort of had to redefine that, I guess. Like, I feel more conscious about things. I feel more in touch with things that I can do to affect change, and that's a very powerful feeling. I feel like my community has had to come together in ways that we wouldn't have imagined. It's a shame that it's had to happen for things like fighting ICE and protecting each other from very real threats. But so in those ways, you know, there have been a lot of positives. But again, it's you know, sort of people power and people coming together and communities protecting each other, whereas sort of the change that's been affected from the top down has been really terrible and negative.
You're doing a lot here. You're pulling double duty as a demonstrator and as a dad, and now you're also doing the interview, so I want to wrap this up. My last question for you is just what in your mind in the news right now, what is keeping the majority of your focus, or what do you think there should be more focus on?
I feel like a lot of what kicked off my involvement in demonstrations like this was Palestine, and the focus has understandably gone to other places as more state-sponsored violence has kicked off, but it's something that I think we still need to be really focused on, as well as the spread of sort of that same aggression to Lebanon and other places, as well as now Iran. So it's just, yeah, I was listening to public radio on the way down, and it just feels like 10 new things a day, so it's hard to keep up on all of it and not feel hopeless. But I think, you know, long term, I feel like I'm hopeful, and it's things like this that let me feel
well,
better.
On that topic, the Democratic Party right now is sitting on an autopsy of its 2024 election.
Right.
It has not released, and it's largely speculated that it's because of references to how important the Israel-Palestine issue was. What would be your message to Democratic elected officials on how they should be messaging around that issue of genocide in Israel-Palestine?
Yeah, it's so funny that, like, that's a thing, right? Like, we have to tell our elected representatives what they should say about genocide. Like, it's crazy that we even have to, like, that's a question. But yeah, you have to stand for something, and we've seen like that it's a slam dunk issue. It's a place where they can immediately differentiate themselves from Republicans, and I understand they're going to lose out on funding doing that. But we're seeing, you know, in some of these races more recently where it's been a really winning issue for politicians. So, you know, I don't have a lot of faith in the Democratic Party either, but, you know, I would say overall for representatives to start divesting and thinking differently, or, you know, hopefully for people who have kind of been on that message all along and don't need to be reminded, you know, for those people to start being supported would be great to see, and I think we're seeing a lot of that now.
Got it. Mark, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Anything else you want to add while you have the platform?
I'm good. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
For the
I'll
time.
let you take
I'll steal this back. I really appreciate it.
Sure thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. All right, I got to do another check of the time here, because at a certain point I do have to toss back our coverage over to New York, and my understanding is that that's got to happen right about now, so I am just checking in with my team really quick. I'm not seeing them like battering down my door trying to get me to end the stream here. So I think we might be able to push it a few more minutes. Jenny or Colin, if you guys are watching, either hop in my ear here, I've got the earpiece on, or shoot me a text. I've got my phone in my hand if I need to wrap. Otherwise, I'm going to just keep doing interviews until you guys make me stop. I do love this job, so I will do it for as long as they allow me to do it, until they pull the plug on our being live down here. And if you're just joining us recently, I do have to keep in mind that I need to reset every once in a while. I get caught up doing the interviews and everything and forget to reintroduce where we are. This is Chicago for the May Day protests here in downtown Chicago. Whew. May Day is International Workers' Day and International Workers' Day. There are countries around the world that celebrate today. The United States is not one of them that makes it an official holiday in any real sense. But International Workers' Day is based on the Haymarket Affair, which happened here in Chicago. Workers around the world honor the workers who died here in Chicago fighting for the 8-hour workday. And it's that legacy that Chicago is carrying on today with demonstrations like this, where thousands of people are in the street calling for further improvements to workers. We've heard from workers here on this stream already today, pushing for things like a $25 an hour minimum wage, true living wages, things that people can build a future and build a family on. People talking about health care, about education, and about ending genocide the world over. That these are still things that we have to fight for in the modern day and age is something to be said. We always pretend that we live in such an enlightened time, and yet are still fighting, clawing, scrapping. The working people are still battling to try and get ahead in these most basic of senses, on these most basic of things, where things like your ability to have and afford health care are not guaranteed to you in the United States, as it is in many other countries. That this is something that workers are still fighting for, and you can repeat that over and over again, for education, for childcare, for name your issue, just about, for decent wages, for working hours, which only seem to be going up despite the ability of things like technology supposedly making us more productive, and yet wages are stagnant and people are working more and more than they have in the past. I'm jumping off to the side here and getting the camera set back up because I just got word from our executive producer. Jenny says I've got to wrap it up and get ready to toss things over to New York. So that's what I'm going to do here, but not before I give you some parting thoughts. I am just re-extending out the camera here. Everybody, jumping back in front of the camera here just to wrap up our coverage here in Chicago, but this is not the end of our coverage, crucially. I am still going to follow this march to its conclusion. I'm going to try and get some more interviews, tell some more stories. I'm hearing that we're going to be marching past a strike here shortly. Love to hear from those Starbucks workers who are on strike. Love to tell their story. And if you want to see more of my on-the-ground coverage that I'm going to offer even after we end this live stream here today, Please go and subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to our friends at the Midas Touch Network who give us the larger platform from which to broadcast. We're greatly appreciative to them. And also, please, if you have not yet done so, go to statuscoup.com/join to offer this on-the-ground reporting, this upfront and close coverage that we do, this unvarnished look at what is actually happening in the streets here in this country, the voices of everyday Americans, what they are fighting for in this day and age. It costs us money. It costs us, I mean, shit, when we were on the ground in Chicago and in Minneapolis, I forget the last estimate Jordan gave me, but it was in the tens of thousands of dollars per month that it costs us to be on the ground in these places for travel, gas, food, lodging, equipment, plane tickets, and I mean, the list goes on and on. Jordan's always upset with me that I forgot to name something like some of the costs we incur to be out here. Just basic needs, and we're only able to offer this very expensive coverage that corporate media should be offering and is not. Another soapbox of an issue that I should put to the side because I'm trying to wrap up here. But all that to say that we like to offer you this coverage. If you find value in it, go to statuscoup.com/join for as low as $5 a month or 16 cents a day. You go to keep me here in these streets, broadcasting the way that we are, lifting up the voices of all of these working people here behind me who are here not for anything that you would think should be controversial, but truly for just working class issues like the ability to be able to earn a living wage, to be able to afford health care for themselves and their family, for their ability to access child care, for their ability to access education, things, housing, for fresh, clean air and water, things that should be taken for granted but cannot be in these corporatized states in which we live here in the United States, where there is corporate capture on both sides of the political spectrum. And we endeavor to combat that here at Status Coup. We believe wholeheartedly in building and lifting up a working class powered movement here in this country. And that starts with our media as well, that should be fighting for working people, not questioning them, not pushing them down, not marginalizing them in their coverage. That's what we try to do here, and we'll keep doing it from New York, where we're about to go live now. So for now, live in Chicago, I'm JT Cestkowski. On behalf of myself, the entire Status Coup team, our partners at the Midas Touch Network and Mercado Media as well, thank you, stay safe, and good night.